Why is called tea? How many kinds of tea are there in China? I will tell three interesting stories about tea. The earliest recorded international tea trade was in 475 AD. The Turkish merchant traveled a long way to the northern frontier of China. They bartered their goods with the Chinese tea leaves. That's why tea is pronounced chai in Turkish, the original sound of chaye, which means a tea leaf. Russians imported the tea from Hankou in central China, then tea in Russian is cha. Japanese and Portuguese imported the tea from Canton, they said cha. In 1644, the British set up a tea business in Amoy in southeastern China and named it tea based on the local dialect Tay. Because the tea merchants in different areas of China speak different dialects, so the Chinese tea got different names in different countries. Tea is just a piece of a tiny green leaf. It's a God's gift to Chinese people. It's a very complicated big family. Generally speaking, there are green tea, red tea, white tea, black tea, and pu'er tea. Green tea is made of green tender tea leaves, not fermented, so it is in green color and smells fresh. Green tea can refresh yourself, prevent cancer, and reduce the cholesterol in your blood. There's one kind of green tea called Xihu Long Jing, literally means White Lake Dragon Well. Chairman Mao Zedong liked the cigar and green tea. Xihu Long Jing was his favorite tea. He usually drank tea as he read newspaper. Sometimes he also chewed the tea leaves and swallowed them. Can you eat tea? I will introduce a tea dish. In the South China, there is a beautiful garden city called Hangzhou. Chinese people usually describe it as paradise. There's a famous dish called Long Jing Shrimp Meat. Why do they put tea in the dish? The story goes like this. In the 18th century, when China was ruled by Manchurian, the Emperor Qianlong visited southern China 6 times. Once, when he was wandering around the White Lake in Hangzhou, he disguised like a merchant, so he could check people's real life and have more fun. When it rained, the emperor had to take shelter in a local farmer's house. The farmer was very hospitable. He treated the emperor with the local dragon well green tea. The emperor liked it and wanted to bring some back to Beijing. Farmers were not businessmen, they didn't sell tea leaves. It would be embarrassing for the emperor to ask for some tea leaves, so he grabbed a handful of tea leaves when the farmer was not with him, and put them into the pocket of his dragon robe under the common overcoat. The rain stopped. The emperor said goodbye to the farmer, and continued his sightseeing around the West Lake. At dusk, the emperor was reluctant to leave, and had a dinner in a small restaurant on the lakeside. He ordered a couple of dishes. One of them was stir-fried shrimp meat. Suddenly, the emperor felt thirsty. He remembered the tea leaves which he had stolen from the farmer's house. So he opened his common overcoat and gave the tea leaves to the waiter. When the waiter saw the dragon pattern on his inner robe, he was shocked, because in feudal dynasty of China, only the emperor could wear dragon pattern clothes. The waiter rushed to the kitchen with the tea leaves and told the chef that the emperor was there. The chef was shocked too. He thought the green tea leaves were chopped green onions, so he put them into the wok and stir-fried with the shrimp meat. The waiter served the emperor with the tea and the shrimp. The shrimp meat was tender and the tea leaves were fresh. The emperor tasted and said, "Yummy, yummy." Since then, Long Jing Shrimp Meat became a famous dish in Hangzhou. I have another story about the tea and literature. I will try to explain the Chinese literature and Chinese sense of humor with my humble English. Over 900 years ago, in the Song dynasty, there was a great poet named Su Dongpo. Not every Chinese could remember his poems today, but we all remembered his Dongpo pork. He was a gourmet. Once, he traveled to a beautiful mountain and visited the local Buddhist temple. The Buddhist abbot saw that Dongpo just dressed like a common scholar, so he coldly said, "Sit," and told the little servant monk, "Tea." Then the little monk brought regular green tea to Dongpo. After he talked a little while, the Buddhist abbot found that the guest was well educated and talented. So he warmly said, "Please sit," and told the little monk, "Serve tea." During a later conversation, the Buddhist abbot knew that he was the famous poet Su Dongpo. He respectfully said, "Please sit higher." and told the little monk serve fragrant tea. The Buddhist abbot wanted Dong Po to write a piece of calligraphy for him that he could show off to other people. Dong Po thought a little while and wrote, "Sit, please sit, please sit higher. Tea, serve tea, serve fragrant tea." The Buddhist abbot turned as red as the paper. Don't judge book by its cover. Probably you have heard of jasmine tea, but why only people from Beijing like jasmine tea? Because the underground water in Beijing was very bitter. In the 19th century, a smart businessman found that the smell of jasmine tea from southern China could cover the bitterness of the water in Beijing. So he began to sell jasmine tea in Beijing. And the Beijing people loved the flavor of jasmine tea. The business was very successful. The tea growers dried the fresh green tea leaves and mixed it with jasmine flowers, so the tea leaves absorb the aroma of jasmine flowers. Even today, jasmine tea is the first choice of Beijingers. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's story. Please feel free to ask any questions about China. We will continue our tea story next time. Bye bye.